Hi, I'm Dr. Nancy Tosh. I'm here to tell you about the new Pinnacle version of PSY1010 Introduction to Psychology. I'm going to walk you through the course because, although much of the content and lectures have remained the same, there are still important changes we need to cover. The course has gone from 6 weekly units into 3 milestones. In order to do this, some of the course content and reading assignments have been moved around so that each milestone covers a specific area of psychology. Milestones are essentially a phase of the course project. Although in this case, each of the 3 milestones deal with a different aspect of psychology rather than building upon one another. Each milestone is a key moment and has key deadlines as they build into a more complete understanding of psychology. Pinnacle courses are comprised of a series of learning activities that build upon one another. Learning activities are anything that builds skills. There are lectures, videos, interactive media, etc., as well as skill checks that help the student acquire the competencies needed. Although much here is familiar, there have been changes made to the assignments. For example, 3 quizzes have replaced the old discussion questions. The approach to assignments has also changed. PSY1010 is now a project-based learning course and follows a certain pattern using tasks and milestones and deliverables, also called submissions, for a student to demonstrate that they've acquired the competencies that are part of the course. Each milestone consists of tasks. These tasks essentially help the student achieve the milestone outcome. They progress from gathering data to writing a draft to revising a draft based upon feedback, and they culminate in the milestone submission or deliverable. A deliverable is the artifact that students submit to demonstrate they've acquired the required learning. If this is your first time teaching the course, then I'd recommend that you review the project brief as well as each of the tasks. You will need to redo your course home announcements because the content and organization of the course has changed. You may need to change any additional videos that you have created in the past. You might consider putting together a tutorial for students as well. When creating this material for your course, make sure there's no references to the old classroom format. Now let's take a closer look at the course. The course competencies are found in the course syllabus. As you can see, they have remained the same. The third document in resources is about project-based learning, which I've already talked about a little bit. If you want more information, this document will really help you a lot. I find the learning path the easiest way to navigate through any Brightspace course. And we're going to go there now. The project brief is a summary of the entire course and the project work breakdown. It also provides a flow chart at the bottom for those that are more visually oriented. The project brief breaks down the class milestone by milestone. Each of these areas contain a short description of the milestone, providing a title for the milestone, and an overview of each task the students have to complete. The project brief is a quick way to review the course. The first milestone covers research and experimentation, and we're going to walk through that in more detail now. Students are assigned to read chapters 1, 3, and 4 of the text. They have 3 tasks to turn in. The milestone 1, which is a gathering of data. This differs from milestones 2 and 3 because students conduct an experiment in the first milestone, and this is simply turning in their data. I'd like to look at the structure of the task. First, there's an overview, as you can see here, providing a description of the task. The task lists specifications for the work that are broken down clearly, and steps for success, and which are essentially a walkthrough of how to do the assignment. The specifications and the steps for success are very important because this is what a student has to do and do well in order to succeed. Grading is based upon how well students are meeting each one of the criteria. For this particular task, all they need to do is turn in the data, so there's not the breakdown that you're going to find in the next task and all the ones following. For this task, the students turn in a draft of the final assignment, and as you can see, the steps for success are very detailed. The grading here depends on whether or not they turn in the draft on time. However, when you provide your feedback, this is the criteria for the submission, and you should let them know how well their draft, as is, meets all of these expectations. When you provide feedback on the draft, you can use these elements as a framework. Drafts are not graded for quality. However, as I said, you should give them a provisional grade based upon these to let them know where they stand and how much work they need to do to get a good grade on the final. In addition, the grade students receive on the final submission will give them an idea of what is going to be the criteria for the future. For preparing drafts for the students, Turnitin now has Brightspace, or Brightspace now has Turnitin, and you can attach it. You can find out how to do that in the Faculty Training Center in Brightspace. And once you install that, Turnitin not only gives you percentages of copied material and similarity index, it also allows for a grammar check and for marking up papers and before returning them to students. And I find this is a very easy way to do it, but you may have another method. With the exception of the extra step in Milestone 1, gathering data from experiments, the same formatted task is followed in each milestone. The final submission is the culmination. In addition to turning in their revised draft, there is an assignment discussion or milestone report. Here, students will post their final submissions for review and comment by other students and post on the work of at least 2 peers. Students also draft a 100-word milestone report, summarizing their process results, any special challenges or remaining questions. This is something new that you don't see in the classic course format. When students respond to submissions posted by classmates, it's a good idea to encourage them to ask these same questions and reflect on how the findings and writings of their classmates differ from their own work. Ask them to reflect on the insights they have gained by reading the work of their peers. Reporting this way provides a pattern where students will look over and reflect upon their journey through the milestone review. This reflection is a key difference of Pinnacle courses. And as you can see, the bulk of points for each milestone goes with this submission, though quizzes are also worth 100 points. And so they're worth a fairly hefty amount. Going back to the learning path, the second milestone covers sensation and perception, memory, learning, and critical thinking. Students are assigned to read chapters 2, 5, 7, and 8 of the text. They have for assignments the midterm review, and then the draft, as in other that we just covered in Milestone 1, and the final submission, and the quiz. Milestone 3 covers motivation and emotion, personality, and social psychology. Students are assigned to read chapters 9, 10, 11, and 14, and they only have 2 assignments for the final milestone plus the quiz. They have the draft, the final submission, and the quiz. I hope that this has helped, and if you have any further questions, don't hesitate to contact me at ntosh@aii.edu, or you can also contact Elise Vandamia, who was very instrumental in preparing the course. Thank you very much, and good night.